have a sort of meltdown, whether it be like at a grocery store or in your own home. And you might think, oh, that child really needs to be safe. Oh, it's in public. That child's like misbehaving. But many adults will always like also call these like regular meltdowns like, oh, they're explosive children, or oh, they're problem children, basing it off of what they see as good behavior and bad behavior. But what not many people realize is that kids don't melt down just for the sake of it. Many of these kids lack communication skills that are necessary to express how they are feeling, why they're feeling that, and how to help. I may have been called a problem child or an explosive child when I was younger. I used to cry when things didn't go my way. I used to not be able to understand things in arguments, and that would lead me to just sitting down, yelling and crying. And it got me wondering, what was the reason for all of this? What can I do to help children who were like me growing up? Because I know that not many people would sit down and tell me, hey, we can figure this out. It was always, oh, you're in a timeout. Oh, you're just going to get punished for this. So I looked into it, and a common object that's reported to help kids with comfort, social skills, and language development happen to be stuffed animals like teddy bears or other similar comfort objects. So going further into that, I learned how to crochet them. I was thinking of ways how to be able to help these kids who might not have the resources like I had growing up. So I buckled down, got velvet yarn, which is great for beginners because it doesn't split, and learned with my mom, with a little bit of help from my mom, because she knows how to. And I also learned through that process that crocheting is a very productive stress reliever, which I really needed during this project. So my goal was originally to crochet at least 5, and then as I got going, I said maybe 5 to 10. Well, I ended up crocheting and donating 12 and made handmade holiday tags for the children receiving them during the holidays. So stuffed animals, like ones that I created, help children in strange situations. Whether it acts like a piece of home they can take with them anywhere as like a little comfort place, or like a friend that's there for them when nobody else has time to listen to them or time to ask if they're okay. They can often imagine hearing comforting things or whatever they need to hear from them, and it's just nice to hug them sometimes, have a little bit of stress relief anywhere you go, have it portable. And this is also why police officers carry stuffed animals in the back of their cars. This is for kids who maybe have a parent being arrested, went through a house fire, maybe someone had drugs in their home and they had to be taken out. Maybe they were just taken out by Child Protective Service and put into any foster care or such places. Officers carry that around so it can calm down the child. And I first learned about that on the show called Live PD, which since got discontinued. But it's a little fun fact. Stuffies also encourage pretend play, which is crucial for early childhood children. And it's not only crucial to the imagination, but it's also for their social skill development later on. And not many people think about it like that, but they can pretend play any scenario they want to, really. So they can pretend that 2 stuffed animals are conversing politely. They'll learn taking turns that way as well. And it often prepares them for real conversations. They can have conversations with their stuffed animals. They make a great audience. And they can practice scenarios that they're anticipating or events that they're anticipating with stuffed animals, which will help decrease anxiety going into things. And pretend play conversations also help improve their listening skills as they pretend one is listening or that they are listening to their stuffy. It's like a little learning thing disguised as a little toy. This also improves their understanding of taking turns, working with others, and or leadership skills as they conduct play, as they maybe have their caretaker play with them, etc. And with language, stuffies can help their vocabulary grow. Now, this can be a wide term of things. It can be adjectives, like saying, oh, this stuffed animal is blue and fuzzy. They'll learn more adjectives than you'd really think as they dig deeper into learning. They can say color, texture. They can say emotions during pretend play, like, oh, right now the teddy bear is angry, or oh, the teddy bear is sad. Explain to a caregiver what situation they're playing out in their head. And they can learn verbs by pretending play in different scenarios, like, oh, Teddy's running to the store right now, as they play with their caretaker, as they play with the stuffed animal and any object around them. And this is especially prominent when prompted to like explain what they're doing by their caretaker. And they also understand adverbials better that way as they grow, and it's something that children might struggle with in schools. So it's nice to have them learn on their own as well. That way they're not as stressed as they go into situations like schooling, or they get prompted to say something by their caretaker of the sort. They can also use a teddy bear to mimic, mime, or demonstrate desired action, past scenarios they are trying to elaborate, and motion to specifics on the body. So things that they are not able to communicate, they will be better communicating with a stuffed animal. This also has been a little like looked into with kids that have a language barrier. They can easily point to things on the stuffed animal's body that they want to say, but they don't know the word for. And it's overall very helpful for children, especially socializing with each other, which it's a bigger stress on children than many people think. Stuffies are just really important tools overall, and it can help a child regulate stress. It can help them sleep better at night, hug a stuffy when you're sleeping. It gives them a little added protection as they go about their day. And it can definitely be the difference between a frustrated child and one effectively trying to express how they feel, especially during stress or trauma. And many times, under stress or trauma, children are very stunted communicationally. They're much more than just toys in this scenario. They provide so much more than what you would think for the child. And this is all backed up by psychology as well. They make great gifts. And this also is especially helpful for children with disabilities, impaired children. Let's say the child has language issues or nonverbal. It can really make the difference between getting frustrated and melting down because of lack of understanding and a child genuinely expressing, maybe even in the smallest ways, how they feel. It can really make a whole difference for a child. This is also this can include a lot of delays or childhood mental illness that is overlooked. So children that look passing as someone who's neurotypical, or in general what people would perceive as normal. So children might have a hard time communicating if they are burdened by anxiety, stuff like autism spectrum disorder, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, OCD, ADHD, and much, much more throughout their childhood. And one way of just giving them the tools that they need to communicate and preventing trauma from misunderstandings, it's a very simple way to give them so much more that they can express. Stuffed animals are not much money in general. It can really do wonders for a kid. And I know that the bears that I've made may have cost a little bit on the higher end because I did get multiple colors of velvet yarn. I had to buy the hooks, I had to buy the safety eye, stuffing, etc. But I'm still just very glad that I was able to make them. It's something that I'm personally proud of because I know that I helped a kid in need of some sort of comfort during the holiday season. And I went through Friends of Forgotten Children. So if you guys don't know, they're in New Hampshire. Friends of Forgotten Children is an organization that helps children who are lower income or maybe experiencing insecurities financially. And with the pandemic and everything, there's been a large increase in children signed up for the program. And it's during the holiday season that they always want to collect the most. I walked in there were dozens and dozens of gifts for kids, and I was glad that I can contribute to that. Right here is the finished product of a bunch of my stuffed animals. That's a little bear that I made. That was the first one, actually. And this is a picture of me handing them off to the director in New Hampshire. And that was my project. And I would like to thank my mom for teaching me some basics of crocheting and helping me when I was very confused and covering most of the cost of the stuffed animals. I would like to thank Miss Mullins for the support that she's given me throughout this project and how helpful she was when I had small little hiccups. And I would like to thank the organization Friends of Forgotten Children, and especially the locals here that have helped me tremendously find ways to donate and find ways to help with the cause. And they really just made this possible. And I'm open for questions now.
Thank you. Nice job, Rose. What do you guys want to know about her project? Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I just thought that was a really good project.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do too. And I feel like your passion for that topic and for children really came through. And I think that was such a lovely project and such a great time to give those stuffed animals to the Friends of Forgotten Children. Thank you, Rose. Erica, are you